Hi friend, how are you? It's good to see you today. It's nice to be able to join in and chat once a day for our April activities challenges, our quilt challenges, daily quilt challenges. I'm Pat Sloan. If you don't have the calendar yet, you can get the link below to download it. So what did I have for today? I have got sorting. So what do we want to sort today? Well, there's two things that I have. And let's see if either of those are things you also need to sort. So the first thing, challenge is to find something. First thing for today's challenge is to find something to sort. Everybody's unique, and what you've been doing now, a lot of you have had way more time at home than you normally have had the past 4 or 5 weeks, maybe only 2 weeks, depending on your schedule. So you may have already been going through a lot of things, but there's always something, there's always one spot. And I'm going to pick something easy for me because I don't have the ability to do anything more difficult today. And that's really key, is that if you know yourself, because if you just don't have time to dive deep into the more troublesome spots in your area, don't. Pick something easy because it moves you forward. Even if it's not the great big thing you need to do, like maybe you want to go through and organize all your patterns, your single patterns. And that might be a really big job if you've been collecting them for a long time and you need to think of an organization system. So if you've got the time, you've got the mental, position in life right now to dive deep into a big project, pick that. But if you only have a little bit of brain power, like sometimes I do, I didn't do too many other things. So I am going to pick a bin, one bin, and I'm going to sort it. Because we can always find one bin, I think, that is not as tidy as the rest. So this is the one. Now I have noticed, first of all, a couple things. One is that I don't have a lot of darker greens right now, and some of them are quite old. I'm sure that I'm going to have great use for a green leopard print fabric. I will someday. My one friend said everybody needs leopard print, so I keep it. But then I have a lot of lights, lots and lots of lights. And in here is a lot of little stuff. So I need to take all of this out and I will sort it. I will put it sort of, I'm probably going to put it, because of the way I work, I'll put it by color, but then older stuff in the back and newer stuff from the front. So I know the newer stuff because then I know you can get something similar, but if it's quite old, you're maybe not going to find something similar to that. I just spotted this. This has to go in my stay-at-home quilt, the camera fabric. So this came out a while ago. I think this is the only piece I have left. I've used little parts of it. So I need to keep that out. It's and we digress, right? This is what happens. We digress. So in here I'll probably find maybe something else, a little treasure. I might also find some fabrics in here that are small pieces, and I'll put them over. I have one of my rolling assistants, not this one, but the one over there has an entire shelf of fabric that needs to be cut into 2.5-inch squares, and I need to get to that soon. I think I'm going to cut it all in the Gemini, which is back there, because that's faster, and I can just run them through and cut them. So this is the one I'm going to sort. So do you want to just see one? I'll take one stack out. Let me just take something towards the front here. What do we have? Okay, so if I took this stack, I know that these are actually, this is Blossom, which is Christopher's, basic line. So I know that these are actually some newer fabrics. But then again, I know that one's not. This was from our Christmas sew-along. So was that. And so here's one that is just a small piece. And I love the text on it. I love this celery green. But really, this one I should just cut up in 2.5-inch squares. Knowing the way I work, there's probably little use I have for it right now, and I can make room and get it a little tidier. So I can keep all these things so they're, not folded over, and they're pretty tidy. This one's an older one by my friend Victoria Finley Wolf. See, now here's one that's sort of cut up, but there's still enough of it, so I'll leave it. and another older fabric, some more blossom. Now these are different color green, so I would want to get these over. This is more that celery green, and this is more of a limey, gets more of a limey green. So I want to keep these colors together, and this green goes here. See, like these two go over there in that pile. So I can get this whole pile here with these shades of green. So this is what I'm doing with this stack, going in here and getting out the things and getting them color-wise, and then within that, how old they are. What's this one that's got ponies on it? Look how cute that is. Oh, here's the kids. Oh my gosh, look, 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 the playground. Yes, that should be a childhood games project, right? Okay, speaking of, and if you have eagle eyes, you may have seen up on the wall there, those are my childhood games blocks. And you don't see a new block up there, do you? Because today is childhood games, and it is the layout. Yes, the layout, yay! So that we can set our quilt now. There's no block on the day that I give the layout. That's the previous block. There's no block on the day I give the layout. So here it is. There's just some sacks. Now these are also going to be released. What goes in here is not shown today. I'm calling that a block. So that will be one of the future days. The larger blocks are in the four corners, which means there's 2 more larger blocks coming. And then these are the 12-inch ones here and then here. And so the sashing between them just sets them apart a little bit, because I picked fabric to make my childhood games look very much like a crayon box, you know, very fun and exuberant and all the colors, you know, so it's not a real controlled color palette. So I need that little bit of spacer with the background fabric to sort of separate them, to give your eyes a place to see each block, and so they're not like jammed right next to each other. They all have a little spacer, a little bit of background color that will be in there. So like for today, for me, I am going to cut all of the sashings, and then I might just go ahead and do the rows. But let me show you something up on the wall, because I will have this, it's on the blog post too, so in case you want to see. But first on the blog post today, I put all the blocks in the order, not this order, I put them in the order that they were released. And because when I released them, I didn't necessarily say, oh, I didn't do all this color planning in advance. I just sort of working from the pile as to what I wanted to play with that day for that block. But that means sometimes I had them like too top loaded, like there were 2 greens right next to each other, and I really wanted a green further down in the quilt. So I shifted them around to this layout, and there's a picture of both ways on my blog for today. So you can link that, the link's below. And while you're there, click the subscribe and click the little bell, so that way you'll get the notices of the new videos. So today is layout day, yay! I love layout day. I always think it's so fun because we still have more blocks, but you'll be able to get your layout going, and then when the quilt along is finished, if you've been sewing your layout as you go along, you will have a finished quilt. Okay, my block today for stay-at-home, my stay-at-home block for the day, here it is. I have celebrating coffee again. I have actually at least 1 more coffee fabric, and who knows, I might find a 3rd one, because I had to figure out how to make an iced coffee that I liked, since I cannot walk over to my local Starbucks, because they are not a drive-through Starbucks. So they closed like almost immediately because it's a walk-in only plaza. And so we did note the other day that they had turned the lights back on, like the sign in the front window was back on. And so I'm hoping that they may open it for pickup. So far they haven't. So that will be nice to be able to support them again. I miss seeing the people that work there. I'm hoping they're doing okay. But I'm be excited to have that open again so I can take a walk over there. So I'm celebrating coffee. I love coffee fabrics. I really should just start collecting all the coffee fabrics. Don't you think that'd be fun? I think it'd be fun. It's like, because I'm nuts that way. I love novelty prints. This is so much fun doing the stay-at-home quilt using my novelty fabrics. I just can't tell you how much happiness this is bringing me to look through my bins. Like I just did and found like the playground. I think this one might have to go in there too. A piece of that. With the swing set, I used to go on the swing so often as a kid. That was so much fun. Okay, your job today, sort something. And if you want, just take one bin of fabric or one shelf of fabric and do that. If not, sort something bigger and better if you have the brain power and everything in your life is totally sorted. Look around your home. There might be a drawer somewhere that could use a little sorting. I'm Pat Sloan. I love you. Thank you for joining me for my dailies. Thank you for using my links to support our small family business. We appreciate every single one of you so much. Mwah, mwah. I love you. See you online.